Today's objective is today we'll estimate lengths using inches, feet, centimeters, or meters. Now it's your turn to repeat today's objective back to me. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go! Today I will estimate lengths using inches, feet, centimeters, or meters. Nice job! Now let's go over today's important vocabulary words. Our first word is estimate. Can everybody say estimate? Nice job. Now, an estimate is just a good, close, and reasonable guess about how long or tall an object is, and it's usually based on rounding. Our other vocabulary word for today is non-standard units of estimation. Now, when you measure with objects that are not official measuring tools, things like paper clips or your foot or a shoebox, whatever it is, those are all examples of non-standard units of measurement. So today we are going to be using some non-standard units of estimation. So for an inch, we're going to use from the tip of our thumb to our first knuckle. That's about an inch. We're going to use from our elbow to our wrist for an estimate of a foot. We're going to use an arm span for the estimate of a yard or a meter. And we're going to use the width of our pinky nail for the estimate of a centimeter. To complete today's lesson, we need to follow these 4 really important steps. Step 1 is to estimate the measurement of the object. So that's where you take your reasonable and close guess. Step 2 is to measure the object in inches or centimeters. So you'll need an actual ruler to do step 2. Step 3 is to record your measurement. Step 4 is to compare your real measurement to your estimate. Next up, I'll model 2 problems for you. The directions at the top of the page say estimate and measure. Number 1 says estimate the length of the car in inches. Measure with a ruler. So there is a spot for my estimate, and then there is a spot for the actual length. So I'm going to start with my estimate, otherwise I won't be able to do my estimate if I do it after actually measuring. So I always start with my estimate, and it said to measure it in inches. So I know from our vocabulary page that an inch is about the tip of my thumb to my first knuckle. So the tip of my thumb to my first knuckle. So I'm going to use my thumb actually to come up with my estimate. That is not cheating, perfectly allowed. So I have 1, 2, and then it's about 3. So my estimate is 3 inches. And I use my abbreviation IN for inches. Now I'm going to come up with my actual length by measuring with my ruler. So I take my ruler, I line it up at the 0, which is right here, the first line, and then I look and see, oh, doesn't quite meet that 3-inch mark, but it's really close. So my estimate matches my actual length this time. It's pretty cool. Now I'm going to do the second one. It says, estimate the height of the apple in centimeters. Measure with a ruler. Then it says estimate, and it has a spot for my actual length. So I remember from my vocabulary sheet that centimeters are about the width of my pinky nail. So the width of my pinky nail. So if I'm measuring the height, I'm going to measure from top to bottom. So 1, 2, 3, it's like 3.5. I'm going to go with 4
centimeters. So I rounded up because it was more than halfway past the midway mark. And now I'm going to do my actual length. So I take my ruler, double check, make sure I am on my centimeter side. And then I do my measurement, and it is, actually 3 centimeters. So here you can see that my estimate was close to the actual length, but it wasn't exact. So that's why it's really important to do actual lengths with measuring tools that are designed for measuring, because that helps us communicate very clearly with other people what the proper measurements are.
Next up, you're going to hop onto Google Classroom, and as usual, you have 2 options. Option 1 is to print the worksheets and to complete them by hand, and then to do your presentation by following the Seesaw Math Presentation link. Or you can do option 2, which is to edit the Seesaw template for your worksheets and then submit those directly on Seesaw, and then afterwards complete your math presentation also on Seesaw. Good luck!